STIG, SRG, SCAP. If you're here, you've likely heard of these, but what are they? Today, I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how you can get real-world experience in your own environment. So sit back, relax, and welcome to HepchaSec. A couple prerequisites before we hop in. First is to know what NIST SP 853 Security and Privacy Controls for Information Systems and Organizations is, as well as how it works and how it is structured. If you are an ISO or an ISM or work in the ATO world at all, you likely know that we just got the green light to use revision 5. If you're in an interview and you want to seem like you know what you're talking about, you don't say revision, you call it Rev 5. Second is the Risk Management Framework, or RMF. This is the 6-step process the DoD utilizes to manage risk. By now, you should already have your inheritance packages, your controls selected, and if you don't know what I mean by this, that's fine, but you should go learn about it if you're going to live in the DIB GRC world. If you want to follow along, I'm running the Windows 11 Enterprise from the Evaluation Center. Now, if you Google it, you're going to have to fill out a form and all this other stuff to get to the page. However, I'm going to drop the direct link below. I'm not going to go through the process of provisioning a hypervisor or the installation of a VM from an ISO. So if you don't know how to do that and you want to follow along, I'm linking the course to TCM Security's Practical Help Desk below, and I will also list which lessons to watch within it. I've used VirtualBox for years, so that's what you're going to be seeing today. STIG stands for Security Technical Implementation Guide. SRG is Standard Requirement Guide. A STIG is a system or software specific Windows 11, RHEL 9, Juniper EX series switches, and more. SRGs are generalized. So if you go and you look for a Keycloak STIG, you're not going to find one, but you will find a AAA SRG, and that's what you'll utilize. Going a little deeper than we probably need to for this video, but some good information for you. You may see within a STIG or SRG the quotes best practices somewhere. When you see this, most of the time you'll utilize the Center for Internet Security, or CIS, benchmarks. It has a lot of implementation controls as well, but that's for a whole different video. SCAP is how we're going to automate our validation. So today we're going to use the SCC tool, or SCAP Compliance Checker. Now, I personally do not like the SCC tool. I much prefer to use OpenSCAP and eSTIG, which I usually do. Honestly, I don't even like STIG Viewer. I would much rather use STIG Manager, which I do for my day-to-day duties. It's much easier to collaborate, submit controls and artifacts, and you don't have to worry about your CKLB files getting lost or mixed up through emails and whatever. However, you can't always utilize these tools, so SCC is the safe bet. SCAP stands for Security Content Automation Protocol. It's the standard language that these tools use, such as SCC, OpenSCAP, ACAS, you get it. But as I mentioned, the SCC is the tool that we are going to use to run against our machine. Speaking of our machine, let's hop into the technical implementation so that you can get some real-world experience from your environment. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is head over to the DoD Cyber Exchange. Because we gotta grab our tools. Once you get here, gonna head over to SRGs and STIGs. Now here you can sign up for the SRG and STIG mailing list, which is crucial if you do this for a living and you're actually securing machines. You will get updates on versions and releases that you will need to compare against your current release for your systems in order to ensure that there are no major changes. And any changes that there are, you need to be compliant with. So from here, we're going to go to the little hamburger stack, and we're heading to the document library. So first thing I'm going to do is just put in Windows, because we are looking for Windows 11. Here we have the Windows 11 SCAP benchmark, which is version 2 RHEL 7. So we're going to grab that. Now let's see if we can find the Windows 11 STIG. So you'll notice here the SCAP is benchmark V2R7 and this is V2R6. It's fine, just download it. Now we need to grab the SCC tool. Another thing that you'll notice is there are checksum files. So if you want to verify that what you're downloading has not been altered and the integrity is secure, then you can do that. I'm not going to check it here. And for Windows, you're going to want this one. So 512 Windows. The last thing we're going to need is STIG Viewer. Once again, there's your hashes. We're not worried about that. We need Win64. Not Win64 MSI, not for this one. All right, cool. So we got those. Now, I provisioned this machine specifically for this, and it will not exist after this. So I'm going to extract all of my folders right here in downloads. But if you utilize the machine that you are on, I recommend being more organized than I am currently. All right, so I'm going to get rid of all of these. And there is one more folder here in SCC that you need to extract. So make sure that you go and extract that one as well. This one takes a minute. If you get this error, just skip it. It's going to work. All right, cool. So the first thing that I want to do is start with STIG Viewer. Now it's going to say that this is untrusted. You still want to run it, just go ahead and run it. And this is why you might want to check the checksum files. Here we go. All right, so we're in STIG Viewer. We are going to come to Open up here. And we are going to our STIG. So right here, Windows 11 v2 R6 STIG. We'll come all the way in, you're gonna grab this file, and it's automatically gonna load. So this is just putting the STIG into STIG Viewer. We have not provisioned the actual machine that we're gonna be running against yet, as far as it's concerned. So it's all right here. You can go through what the actual rules are and everything, and we'll go over some of this stuff in a minute. But what you're going to do is you're going to head to Open Checklist, and you're going to create a checklist. We'll call this HEFJA. Sure. So once you go and create a checklist, all of your STIGs are going to be over here. And you simply add the rules, and it'll kick over, and all the rules over here are what's going to be added into the checklist. So if you needed to utilize Microsoft, if you needed to utilize the Excel one, or Kubernetes, or Ubuntu, or whatever, you can go ahead and pull those over. So once you do that, you're going to hit Fill Checklist. And here we go. This is our checklist. Now, you'll see over here on the right, you can add in your host name, IP address, blah, 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 which what we're going to be doing with the SCC tool is going to go ahead and populate all that for us. You see currently none of the rules have been reviewed. We have none that are open. Open means that they are non-compliant. Not a finding means that we are compliant. And non-applicable means that it's not applicable. Over here on the left, the way that you actually can change these manually is simply by selecting them and going through the different options until you find the option that you need. See at the top here, so this is Microsoft Windows 11. It tells you your version, benchmark, and the release date. Your group ID has to do with the vulnerabilities. The role ID is more for the tools themselves. This is how the tools compare what they're utilizing compared to the SCAP information itself. We have the severity, and there are 3 levels. You have high, medium, and low. 1 is high, 2 is medium, 3 is low. 1 always has to be remediated. You'll likely never be able to have a system accepted if it has a Cat 1 in it. Classification for this is unclassified, so specifically this means that this STIG is for unclassified systems, so we can't go in and run this STIG and then put secret information on it, even if the system is provisioned to be secret. Here we have our rule titles, so pretty self-explanatory, just the basics of what it is. Discussion of why we're doing this. Check text is how we verify whether or not we meet the compliance. Fix text is how we fix the compliance issue, if there is one. And our references. And this right here is why I said you need to be somewhat familiar with NIST 853, because this is the Configuration Management 7 control. All right, so we got this up and going. Let's head over to the SCC tool and let's see how compliant our machine is. And I promise it's not going to be very compliant at all. Where's my, there we go. Just keep on going through SCC until you find this. This is your actual application. Once again, you're going to run it anyways. Now, at some point, it should start. Anytime now, whenever you're ready. All right, here we go. So as soon as you open it, comes up with what your new features are. So updated content to DISA's Q3 2025 release. This means that it has the applicable SCAPs to the STIGs all the way up to Q3 25. It says here the added SCAP content. Go ahead and let this refresh. And here we go. So you can see here, these are all the STIGs that are currently selected to scan. However, it does take time to do these things, and I'm not sitting here all day, considering this is the third time that I am filming this because I don't know how to hit a transition button. So you can see here, we do have Windows 11 STIG right here, so we can select that. However, real quick, if you need a STIG and you don't see it here, you've downloaded it from the Cyber Exchange. You're going to go to install. You're going to select content. You're going to go to wherever it is, select it, and hit open. So I already got it here. Like I said, SCC already comes with it, so I'm not going to do this again. But all you're going to do from here is you're going to start your scan. And you see here, you can do remote scans. However, that is not what we're going to go over today. This is very basic level, so we're going to keep it at local scan. And we are going to go ahead and start our scan. So this is giving information that there's going to be manual questions, which is fine. I'm not that concerned about it. And it's also letting us know that we are only running 1 out of 27 SCAPs. As this runs, you'll see kind of over here on the right, the trues and false. That is literally whether the control is already in compliance or if it is not. And it's important to know as well that normally when you get a machine, it is not protected to its full extent. Reason for that is people would be calling customer service so much more, costing these organizations money. So normally when you get a new software or something, it is pretty open and more leaning toward the availability side than the confidentiality side. So it's very important to, even on your home computer and stuff, to ensure that you do something like this or sysbenchmark in order to properly secure your own network, your own systems. Should be almost done here. Awesome. So total sessions 1 on this asset, new sessions 1. You'll see this change when we come back. Up here we have our original score and our adjusted score. Well, this is our original and adjusted score because it is our first scan. So we'll go ahead and hop over and view these results. You can opt to either look at all the settings or only the non-compliant settings. And this gives you a full report on the system. So we see here our score, 37.39. We have 86 that passed, 144 that failed, 16 non-applicable, and 12 that were not checked. Our compliance status is red because we are below 80. And here is a lot of our system information. So our OS, we are running 25H2. Our FQDN, processor, IPs, Macs, everything like that. However, we need to put this into STIG Viewer. That way we can make it actionable. But let's do this. We're going to hop over here, and you can double click here and look at the raw text of what this file looks like. Now, the easiest way to do this is you're just going to right click on this file and you're going to ask to show in directory. Come here, just copy this. You can try and figure out where it put it, but this is just the simplest way to do this. You're going to come back over to your STIG viewer and you're going to import, and you're importing a XCCDF file. So come in here and we're just going to paste that link. We're going to load this file in. We have 232 rules that matched. We have 22 rules that have matching rule IDs but mismatched revision IDs. You can have it include loosely matched results if you want to. I would recommend maybe do both. Maybe do it with and without. That way you can double check and make sure that there's no misconfiguration there. And then we have 4 rules that just couldn't be matched. So we're gonna, well, we can show that, and this is what they look like. We can take these and actually go look at those rules if we want to, but we already know that the release is different. We're gonna go ahead and complete this import. Awesome, so we have 130 that are open. Not great. All right, so now we also have all this information if we wanted to input it. Not that concerned about it, but we are going to do some remediation now. We're going to remediate a couple simple things. The first one is going to be the period of time before the bad logon counter is reset must be configured to 15 minutes. So I already know that out of the box it's 10 minutes for Microsoft. So let's head over. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. I need to. All right, so we're gonna Windows R, secpol MSC. Right, so once you get in here, you're just gonna open your account policies, go to your account lockout policies, and here we go. So all 3 of them are gonna be in here. Your account, this one was period of time before bad logon counter resets. So reset account lockout counter after how long? We need to change this to 10 minutes. Now, it's also going to recommend doing the same for your account lockout duration. So we're actually going to go ahead and hit OK for that as well. And we actually just revised this one as well. So Windows 11 account lockout duration must be configured to 15 minutes or greater. Now let's remediate this one. Number of allowed bad logon attempts must be configured to 3 or less. So let's change the account threshold to 3. And we'll just accept that. We don't need this anymore. And now we have remediated these 3. So let's go run that scan again and let's see what happens. I don't know why there's 2 of these. No? Okay. Whatever you want to do there, bud. But once again, run in Windows 11 STIG. And let's just start this scan. And we're back. So go ahead and view results. Come over here. We already know that we are going to grab this one. So we'll go to the directory, copy this, and head back over here. Head back over to your STIG viewer, and let's import this one. All right, same thing. I had a little technical difficulty. I don't know why I didn't want to take it the first time, but the second time it did. So here we are, 127 and 84. Let's head back and let's go look at those same 3 before. And here we go. Now you see these 3 are no longer a finding. And if you followed along, congratulations. You just did your first remediation with SCAP, STIGs, and SCC. I recommend going in and remediating some more, find some more controls that you want to do. I also recommend trying on different OSs, so maybe download Ubuntu and the Ubuntu STIG, and there's a Ubuntu STIG Viewer, so you can do it all in one place, and maybe even figure out how to do the remote sessions. I may wrap back around to that at some point, but I think next time I'm going to show you guys some other tools that I enjoy using that I think are very good. Most likely we're going to be looking at OpenSCAP. As I previously mentioned, I wanted to show the SCC tool because it is always accepted, and OpenSCAP is also a little more difficult to use. It is a command line tool, so it doesn't have a GUI. I shouldn't say it's more difficult to use, it just doesn't have a GUI. So if you're used to a GUI, SCC might be your tool until you realize that the command line is going to help you a lot. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Head over to LinkedIn and connect with me. I'm always accepting connections, and I'm always down to have a conversation about anything that's pretty much information security related. If you have any topics of things that you would like to learn, or maybe tools that you would like to see used, then you let me know, and I will put that on the docket. Until next time, thanks for watching HepJSec. I can't believe it took me 3 recordings to get this done. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe I just did this, but I'm sitting here talking to you guys thinking that you can see my screen and really you're just looking at my face.